This week's question is, what should I do to be successful at weight loss after failing so many times? Let's get into this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Q&A with Coach AK, brought to you by Transformed Health Initiative. So every Friday I post a new question and answer video to help provide guidance and sound advice to those pursuing a healthier lifestyle or to those that are just wanting to improve on their current strategies. So if you like this type of content and you want to see more, then please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Now, without further ado, let's get to the question. So this week's question is, what should I do to be successful at weight loss after failing so many times? Boy, oh boy, is this a rough one. So I know that there's many of us that have either been in this position before or we are currently in this position now. So if you happen to find yourself here, trust me, you are not out of hope. There is a chance. But before we can talk about my 3 tips that I have for setting yourself up for success and winning on purpose at your fat loss phase, I want to cover some statistics real quick so we can kind of see what we're up against and why it's so important that we plan ahead and have a secure, foundational plan of action to reach our goals. Okay, so statistics show that approximately 95% of diet attempts end in failure. That's right, 95%. So that's either coming up short of the goal, you go through the whole diet phase and you don't quite hit where you want to hit for whatever reason it may be, or what in most cases is people give up before they start to really see noticeable results. So you get into it a week or two, you're going hard at it, you're sacrificing everything, and then all of a sudden the results aren't going the way you want. So it's easier just to quit than to try to figure it out and go from there. Trust me, I get it. So on top of the high 95% failure rates, approximately 90% of successful dieters end up rebounding 100% or more of the weight that they lose during their fat loss phase. Guys, man, either way, these results are not good for us, okay? So if you happen to fall into either 2 of these categories, either the 95% or the 90%, trust me, you do not have to harp on the past, okay? Learn from your mistakes. Prepare based on what you learn from your mistakes, and do not give up on yourself, okay? You deserve to be healthy, and I'm going to help you know exactly how to plan ahead and what to do to see your results come to fruition, okay? So, as I said, I have 3 tips to help you set yourself up for success, okay? So tip number 1 would be set realistic goals. Guys, realistic goals. We don't want to lose too fast. We don't want to lose too slow. We want to be right in that sweet zone to get the best results we can that we can actually maintain over the long haul. So I suggest aiming for around 0.5 to 0.75% of body weight loss per week initially. So what this looks like, if you're, roughly 200 pounds, that's about 1 to 1.5 pounds of loss per week. So that's pretty good. It is at a slower rate now. But the benefit of a slower rate is that it may increase, the diet duration, how long that you actually have to diet, but it will make the dieting process so much easier. And it'll also increase the likelihood of you sustaining those results after the diet, because let's be honest, who cares what we can accomplish if we cannot keep it? Yes, it may be impressive in the short term, but if we can't keep it, what was the point of going through the suffering to begin with? You know what I'm saying? You might as well just enjoy where you're at and be happy with who you are in your current state. So, slower rate is usually better. Last part on set realistic goals is no crash dieting, okay? Fad diets are fads because they do not last, all right? I don't care what Aunt Sally did. I don't care what Uncle Joe did to lose 20 pounds in 6 days, all right? It is not weight that you can sustainably keep off. It's probably not even body fat. And regardless of what fad diet you're looking at, in most cases, people do not maintain those results, and they cannot maintain this lifestyle because why? Why? Because it's not realistic, okay? So set realistic goals. Number 2, do not over restrict anything, okay? Please, no cutting out entire food groups, all right? You do not have to give up all your carbs. You do not have to give up all your fats. You do not have to give up on the more tastier, fattier proteins. You do not have to sacrifice all things enjoyable just to be able to lose weight and get in shape, okay? You do not have to give up all your breads and pastas. You do not have to give up all the things that make you happy just to achieve your goals, okay? It's all about planning ahead, having a plan, and sticking to it and finding what works for you, all right? So do not cut out all of your favorite foods, all right? Please do not do this. This almost always leads to binging, to having just a terrible outlook on dieting, a terrible experience, and make it much less likely for you to actually hit your goals and to be able to run any future fat loss phases that you may run in your life, because who knows, you may want to lose more. Maybe you do end up gaining more over time and then you want to do it again. Well, if you have a bad experience because you were miserable your whole diet, what are the odds that you're actually going to be able to do it again? All right. So don't cut out everything. You know, we know that the all or nothing mentality only works for so long. You could only restrain from everything for so long before you end up having a breaking point. And guess what? Everybody has a breaking point. And you don't want that to be you, okay? So keeping in mind all things in moderation, okay? We're talking about sprinkling in some of the fun things that we like, not just, you know, having all the pizzas and all the ice creams and all the cookies because Coach AK said not to give up everything, all right? Not what I'm talking about. So last part on that is do not be too aggressive with your calorie deficit, okay? Dieting too hard is rarely sustainable. So dieting in general, losing body fat in general is a challenge enough as it is. So why make it harder by trying to increase the process and end up, you know, either just completely giving up or wrecking your metabolism or, you know, just not being able to succeed because you are too tired, too hungry, and you can only handle that for so long. I don't care how strong you are. Everybody can only take that for so long. So moving on to the last tip, and probably the most important and the most common mistake that I see among dieters is do not try to change everything at once, okay? Trying to change everything at once can be completely overwhelming, and it can make anything becoming a habit that much more difficult, all right? Habits are hard to form. The habits that you have today, the ones that you're wanting to change, I guarantee you did not develop those last week, okay? They came from weeks and months and years of performing the same thing over and over again that turned that into a habit. So what makes you think that you're going to be able to give up everything that you want to change and be able to add all these new habits and all of this stuff is magically going to stick because you're motivated? Guys, don't do that to yourself, okay? Please do not do that to yourself. Do not overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything. So what I suggest is just focusing on just one thing at a time, guys. One thing. You know, maybe that's, you know, I'm going to make sure I eat protein at every meal and every snack. It's going to involve high amounts of protein. It's going to help with satiation. It's going to help with muscle retention and growing muscle tissue and all of those good things. And then once that habit becomes solidified and now it's just natural for you to eat extra protein or eat, you know, high quality protein with every meal and snack, then maybe add another habit in there that you want to be able to establish. So maybe the next habit is I want to make sure I have fruits or vegetables at every meal. So now you have two great habits that you took the time to lock in, and your success rate is going to be so much higher than trying to change everything at one time, because we know results do not happen overnight. I know, it's terrible, but it's true. They don't happen overnight, so just be patient. Give yourself time to undo these potentially years of habits that you formulated over time. Give yourself time to undo them as you slowly introduce new habits, all right? So I hope this information benefits you and your health and fitness journey. If you have any questions that you would like answered, or maybe want it to be featured on a Q&A video in the future, just either comment down below or email me at adam@transformedhealthcoach.com. And if you're interested in working with a coach that has over a decade of experience of helping people to change their health and life for the better, and to help you to determine exactly what you need to do to reach your goal and to keep your results for life, then do this. Visit www.transformhealthcoach.com and sign up for a free 20-minute consultation virtual call to see if the Transformed Health initiative team would be a good fit for you. All right, guys, I'll see you next week on another episode of Q&A with Coach AK. Peace.